My coach told everyone his player was faking a concussion, then forced him to keep playing while 40 parents watched. The hit happened during the second quarter of the homecoming game. I was sitting in the bleachers with my husband watching our son's team play when their running back, a kid named Tyler, took a helmet directly to his jaw. The crack was loud enough that parents 3 rows up turned to look. Tyler went down hard and didn't get back up. The ref immediately signaled for a medical timeout, and their trainer, a woman named Rachel, jogged onto the field with her kid. But before she could reach Tyler, Coach Williams was already there, crouching next to him. From the stands, I could see Tyler trying to sit up, but his movements were slow and uncoordinated. Coach pulled him to his feet and started walking him toward the sideline. Rachel tried to intercept him, but Coach waved her off, actually putting his hand up like a stop sign. My husband leaned over and whispered that something felt wrong about that. Tyler needed to be evaluated, not just walked off the field like he'd twisted an ankle. We watched as Coach sat Tyler down on the bench and said something to him. Tyler nodded, but his head was bobbing like he couldn't quite control it. Rachel approached again with her clipboard, and Coach stepped between them. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but his body language was aggressive, protective, like he was guarding Tyler from her. Several other parents around us had noticed too and were murmuring about protocol. That's when I saw Tyler lean forward and vomit onto the grass. Not a lot, just a thin stream, but Rachel immediately pushed past Coach and knelt in front of Tyler. She was doing the standard concussion assessment, checking his pupils, asking him questions, having him follow her finger with his eyes. Coach stood behind her with his arms crossed, and I noticed something strange. He kept glancing up at the press box, then at his phone, then back at the press box, like he was waiting for something or checking with someone. Rachel stood up and spoke to Coach. Even from the bleachers, I could read her body language. She was telling him Tyler couldn't play. Coach's face went red and he started arguing with her, gesturing at the scoreboard, at the field, at Tyler. The woman sitting next to me grabbed her husband's arm. "That's not right," she said loud enough for people around us to hear. "That boy needs a hospital, not an argument." Her husband pulled out his phone and I thought he was going to call 911, but instead he was recording the sideline. Coach was still arguing with Rachel when I noticed 3 men in suits walking down from the press box. They weren't parents, weren't school staff. They had that look of people who don't belong at a high school football game. Expensive clothes, serious faces, moving with purpose. They reached the fence near the team bench and one of them made eye contact with Coach. The man nodded once. Just a small movement, but Coach saw it and his whole demeanor changed. He turned back to Rachel and said something that made her face go white. Then Coach grabbed Tyler by the face mask and pulled him to his feet. Tyler's legs buckled and he had to catch himself on Coach's shoulder. The crowd was getting loud now, parents yelling from the stands that someone needed to call an ambulance. My husband stood up and so did about 6 other parents around us. We started making our way down to the fence, not sure what we were going to do, but knowing we had to do something. Rachel was blocking Coach, physically standing between him and the field, trying to prevent Tyler from going back in. That's when I saw Coach look back at those 3 men in suits. One of them held up his phone, showing Coach something on the screen, and Coach's face went pale. He looked at Tyler, then at the men, then at the scoreboard. And what he did next made every parent in that stadium realize this wasn't about football at all. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.